Hey guys, welcome back to Layout once again. I thought today we'd just do a quick Locomotive roster update. This will be more like a preliminary report since some of these locomotives need quite a lot of work. So again, I'll just do a quick update right now, and then later on we'll have another locomotive roster video once we acquire some new power and fix up a few of the locomotives that you'll see here today. So the first unit we have here is an Anathan Genesis Es70 ACE. This has tsunami sound, but other than that, it's stock. I just need to replace a ditch light that's on the front here. The next unit is an Athlean Genesis Es44 AC, another stock unit. This also has tsunami sound. Yeah, there's not much else to say about that locomotive. It's a great runner, and I love the details, and it sounds great as well. So you'll see that running on the layout a lot. Then we have an Es44 AC, another one. This is actually by Intermountain this time, and this is our Santa Fe Heritage unit. The only modifications that we made were painting the end handrails white per BNSF specification. So this is actually Ryan's locomotive. He's the layout owner of the BNSF Railfans layout, so he's just letting me borrow this for now. But you'll probably see it back on the Arlington sub in a little bit. Then we have an Athlean AC 4400 here. This is in Heritage 3 scheme. Clearly it's been quite beat up. This is the unit that I tested the radiator fan in. So since I'm working on that project, I'm going to go ahead and also buy some detail parts, since a lot of them fell off during some shipping that we did in between the two layouts. I'll be fixing up that damage in a little bit, as well as applying some more weathering. And then I'll also install DCC or DCC and sound. I'll see. Probably just DCC initially, because I'll have to put in some ditch lights as well. And then we have another AC 4400 over here. This is also an Athlean unit. This also requires DCC right now. It has no decoder in it. I just added PTC antennas. It's received some weathering, but I still plan on relocating the ditch lights and adding a few more details to the pilots. Then we have an ES44 DC over here. This is by Intermountain. As you can see, also applied PTC antennas to this per the prototype. It's received a medium level of weathering, I'd say, but other than that is stock. It does not have sound. This is just equipped with factory DCC, but eventually I think I'll install one of those Tsunami Intermountain sound decoders, just to upgrade it along with the other Intermountain Gevos. Over here we have another one of Ryan's units. Actually, these both are. He's letting me borrow these. So again, these are usually stationed on the Arlington sub, but right now they're here on the Plains division. So this is a Heritage 2 Intermountain ES44 DC. This also has tsunami sound, but other than that is stock. And the same deal with this next one. This is just same locomotive in Heritage 3 scheme. And both these are great runners. They run really well together, and they sound great as well. Then over here we have two Kato-9s. This first one is going to be a project locomotive. I'm just going to completely redetail it because the number series for this detailing they don't match. So I'm going to go ahead and strip down the paint, redetail it, and then repaint it. I don't know into what scheme, either Heritage 1 or Heritage 2. So I don't know. I'll see, because I'm just going to redetail that unit completely and add DCC and DCC and sound probably. So look for that project soon. And then over here we have another unit. This number is actually accurate for the detailing on this locomotive. So I'm going to keep the number, I think, but I do need to replace a few details around the pilots, and clearly the number boards need to be replaced, and the end handrails need to be the wide variation. So there's a little bit of work that needs to be done on this locomotive, as well as installing a DCC decoder and probably sound. So again, something else I'll have to work on, but I'll get to that eventually. Then we have another -9 over here. This is an Athlean unit. So 617 is actually in Heritage 3 in real life, so this is prototypical. The only thing that I don't like is that Athlean brought the stripes across the nose. They just kind of brought them all the way across instead of tapering down like they do on every other unit. So I don't know why they did that, but other than that, it's accurate. Still need to install ditch lights, but they are pilot-mounted ditch lights, so I just need to drill through those and install some bulbs or LEDs. And I have painted the headlight housings or plates. Those are body color per the prototype. And clearly, I threw some PTC antennas on top of here, but they aren't installed since this unit doesn't really have them. But I was using that for a demonstration in the how to make PTC antennas video. So this one also needs DCC. Seems, you know, it's kind of a common story, but I will be upgrading that when I add details, and I'll probably add sound to that unit as well. The goal is to have all locomotives with sound, but sometimes I just make the initial investment and just add DCC, and then later on I install sound, so I'll have to do that at some point. Over here we have an SD75M. This is an Anathan Genesis unit. The weathering's alright. I got this through a trade, so not the greatest. Needs some detailing work on the pilots. One of the ditch light lenses fell out. Handrails are kind of falling apart, so it's been kind of beat up. I also want to just completely replace the internal components since it really doesn't run that well. Even with a decent DCC decoder, it's kind of, I don't know, there's something with the capacitors or something, so I'm just going to rip everything out and start fresh with this unit and probably install sound in it, because then it'll be up to Athlean Genesis spec when I'm done, and it should run like everything else. This next unit is an Oakway, or former Oakway leasing SD60, or I guess the paint scheme suggests that it still is Oakway leasing, but this was formerly a Kansas City Southern SD60. This is Proto 2000. I just stripped the paint, repainted it, re-decaled it, and then also did a light weathering job. So it still needs a few details like the horn and the firecracker antenna, but other than that, it's pretty good. I'll install some ditch lights eventually, and I'll do that at the same time that I install a sound decoder. Then up next we have an Intermountain Norfolk Southern ES40 DC. I guess technically now it's an ES44 DC. Since they've been upgrading those D-rated units. But this unit's basically stock, haven't applied any weathering. I did modify the windshield wipers there, and I just kind of reoriented them so they point inwards like they do on all GE locomotives. I also did the black rim around the number boards per the prototype, and then I also added a little lock box on the top of the nose door, or next to the nose door, but it fell off somewhere, so I'll just replace that, and then maybe eventually I'll add weathering. I keep checking to see if this unit has PTC antennas, but for some reason they've held off with this particular number. Then over here, oh, I forgot to mention this one. This unit does have tsunami sound as well. So then, as I was saying, over here we have a Bachmann SD70 ACE. This is the Jersey Central Line's Heritage unit. This has the tsunami sound value decoder installed in it, so it's an alright locomotive. It actually runs fairly well, actually really well. The detail's pretty good as well. There's some molded on detail that I know a lot of people don't like, but it's alright. And the lighting is decent. I'll probably upgrade it eventually because there are a few problems with this locomotive, but it runs really well, just right out of the box. And other than that, it's stock. Maybe eventually it'll get weathering and that PTC farm on top as well. Then the final unit we have over here is a Canadian National -9. I bought this unit initially so I could replace the cab with the Canadian style teardrop window cab kit, but for some reason I can't find any, so I've been kind of holding off on this locomotive as a project. If I can't find the cab, I might try to scratch build one, or if not, I'll just upgrade it with the proper details minus the cab windows, and then add sound, and I'll be happy with it until I can find a cab for that. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. Clearly a lot of these locomotives need work, not only detailing, but sound decoders and DCC in general as well. So we'll be picking up some new power very soon. I just got an Intermountain GEVO, just ordered that, it's on its way, and I'll be using that to make the Tier 4 demonstrator / test unit. That'll be GECX 2022, so look out for that. As well as a few other projects that I mentioned here. And again, we'll have another roster video once we acquire some new power and update the existing power. So, as always guys, thanks for watching and look for more videos soon.